What's up, everybody, and welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Donktober 6th, 2020. I am your host, Imran Khan, and joining me today is the one, the only FM3 underscore Fran Mirabella III. Fran, how you doing?
What's going on? Good to be back. Good to see you. I feel like, this is the show, the Imfron, as they call it, I think, right?
Yeah, it's been so long since we've hosted. It had to
It's been a bit, but not too
during
bad. I
the
think it was
pandemic.
actually August, maybe.
Was
It feels like
maybe
August.
maybe that feels. Granted, I do not remember because I feel like
You
we've
know,
definitely been on a show together, like at least the Avengers stuff a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
I don't remember the last time we hosted Games Daily together, but
it has been too
kindafunny.com,
long.
yeah, kindafunny.com/you're wrong could tell us. But also, I'm just gonna assume it's been a while because Fran, I miss you, and
I,
it's been
it's good.
overly too long.
It is good to see your face. I'm excited. We actually got some fun news today, I
We
think.
got some fun news.
I'm
I
always
figured it
worried
would
when I'm on.
be.
I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a dud. There's gonna be nothing to talk about. There's stuff.
There's stuff, yeah. I woke up today like, oh, there's just nothing. There's like then story after story like
It's
started coming
always
in.
like that. It is always like that. That last 45 minutes, it's like, man, I have one story. Oh, I have like 7 stories. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those stories today include a smattering of PS5 details, a new Resident Evil movie, and the biggest new free-to-play hit from China, and more, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday at 10 a.m. besides yesterday, live right here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you are watching live, you can correct us when we get stuff wrong by going to kindafunny.com/you're wrong. If you don't want to watch live, you can watch later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, or listen later on podcast services around the globe by searching for Kinda Funny Games Daily. To be part of the show, head to patreon.com/kindafunnygames, where bronze members are above get to write in, and silver members are above get the show ad-free, along with exclusive daily post-show. A little bit of housekeeping first. Thank you to our Patreon producers, James Davis, who's at James Davis Makes, Blackjack, and Tom Bach. Today, we're brought to you by Upstart, QUIP, and BROOKLINEN, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. We got 7 stories today.
A baker's dozen. Remember,
Scat today.
for the month of Donktober, if anyone wants to give me a point that's hosting Games Daily, or no, a golden star, they can.
Yeah. I'm gonna withhold. I'm not gonna go too early. We'll see towards how we get deep.
Yeah,
into
man,
this.
space it out. Just enjoy yourself. You know what I mean?
I will say I did enjoy the B-52's quality of that baker's dozen.
Yeah.
I was trying really
feeling
hard
some,
not
like,
to choke midway through. Is the
bebop
reality?
and scatting on that one.
I'm pretty sure
too.
that's how
It's like,
B-52s
beat
work.
up,
Like,
beat up, beat up.
yeah,
bop,
Love
beat up,
Shack was
bop, bop.
sung entirely while he was trying not to choke. All right. So first of all, Sony expects the PS5 to sell more than the PS4 did in its first fiscal year. This is from
You
Matt
don't
Purslow at
say.
IGN. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan has said he believes more PS5 consoles will be sold in its first fiscal year than the amount of PS4s sold in the same period. Talking to Korea site Naver via GamesIndustry.biz, Ryan predicted that PS5 will sell more in its first fiscal year than we sold in the first fiscal year at the time of the PS4 launch. For reference, between its launch in November 2013 and the end of the fiscal year in April 2014, the PS4 sold more than 7 million units. That means that Sony is forecasting more than 7 million PS5 sales before next April, despite the current pandemic economy. Previously, there had been rumors that the pandemic had disrupted supply to the point that only 4 million consoles would be able to be produced this fiscal year. But with Sony seemingly confident about selling over 7 million, it appears that rumor holds no water. Another report has suggested that the high price point of the console would affect demand, but Sony appears to not be worried about that. So, Fran, we have definitely not talked about next-gen consoles, you and I, in terms of pre-orders. Did you get
No.
pre-orders, or did you want to get
Yes.
pre-orders?
Only for PlayStation 5 because, since I'm sticking a PC, I want to upgrade my
Xbox
PC.
sucks, am I right, my dude?
No. That's not
Gold
it at
star
all.
for Xbox sucks. Let's do this.
There's a lot of reasons, but I mean, number one, PS5, very excited about as a console, and with all the games I know that I'm going to play in the future, God of War, but yeah, like honestly, Xbox Series X looks awesome. I think you should be careful with the S. I'm just going to continue to say that until I see the comparisons. I think for the price, I love that it's got the new hardware, but I think people might be a little surprised that it's not simply the Xbox Series X, but at 2K. Putting that aside, I did manage to get my pre-order, and I got a backup pre-order. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And what happened was somebody else was trying to help me pre-order at the same time, and they put in the same order that I was able to get of it on Amazon.
Was it Tim?
No, it was like somebody that I've been playing Destiny with and part of the Twitch community for a long
new
time.
friend, huh?
Yeah, but anyway, so now I have a digital and a disc version potentially on the way. So we'll see if they show up. And I actually hate that we've come there with the pre-orders, with everybody getting like 2 or 3 to be sure that they get one.
Yeah,
which really just makes the problem all the worse. But
yeah, it definitely inflated the numbers. I bet there's gonna be like a couple of pre-launch like just allotments opened up all of a sudden because so many people are gonna like cancel their like extra pre-orders just in case. Where do you stay? Are you getting a digital or a non-digital disc?
Well, like I said, I was saying I have a disc version on the way and a digital. So unless there's a reason to not, to not use the digital version, I don't know why there would be. I'd rather save the money and then like if somebody wants the disc version, because I already have an Xbox One X for the Blu-ray. So I don't really, other than having one giant console in one place. But that was the other thing I was going to say was that because 99% of now when I play games, I'm on stream. I'm sitting right here, which is not in front of a 65-inch HDR OLED, all that. And that is part of the reason I'm not getting Xbox Series X right now as well. Otherwise, I'd throw it out in the living room. But I'm just like, I'm never going to be out there doing that. So I'll be right here for now.
That's actually a concern of mine with regard to streaming. Is that like when I stream on the second monitor right over here. But if I'm going to be playing, let's say I play Demon Souls, that would be a fun game to stream. I'm not going to stream that through my computer because that is going to be on this like 1080p monitor next to me. It is not going to look as good as it would on my OLED over there. So I want to enjoy that game like to the fullest extent of its graphical capabilities, and that's not going to happen on this monitor.
Yeah, you've brought up my next problem, which is, I don't have like 120 hertz or above 4K monitor. So I'm a little behind the times there. And then also when you're streaming, if you want to run in 4K, and then Kevin, right, got to get some scalers. And I'm like, do I really want to do this?
Though? Can't you use the HD6? Well, no, but you have. Does your video card not do out?
It's a 1080p video card, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I also don't want to be throwing
those bad boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that causes other problems. Putting all that aside,
sure, there's gonna be problems.
You got to start thinking about your monitors as well. So it'll be interesting to see what I want to spend.
Wait, quick question. Would you do a HDMI switch going to a 4K monitor and then down to a scaler, where you bump it down to 1080, then have that go into your system?
Yes, I'd prefer to do that.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
If
it's expensive though. It's an expensive solution.
Yeah, but that's the point. Is like, I would just split, one signal to a 4K monitor, then split the other one out, but then scale that down to 1080p because I'd rather just have everything taken care of up front when you're streaming like that. That's what I was talking to somebody the other day about their setup, and I was like, I don't know if you want to have 4K, and they were having problems. But anyway, the real story here, I think, is when Sony says that it thinks it's going to sell, over 7 million, is that the number it thinks it's going to produce or the number they think they can sell? Was there any, I don't think there was clarity on which is which on that. I
assume they would sell to retailers. Like that would be the thing somebody's talking about, but I also assume retailers
ship to retailers, you're saying?
Yeah. Like they make a transaction with retailers that retailers pay them money for these consoles. But I don't think those would happen unless that system is selling well enough that there's not just a ton on shelves.
I mean, I don't think the PS5 is going to have any trouble selling other than the very unpredictable world as, we've been peppering throughout that story. But for now, I don't think they're going to have a problem selling it with over 110 million PlayStation 4 sold. And because that is the one thing that thrives during the pandemic is we're inside. If you're going to make any investment and distract yourself, it's literally like, you know what I mean? It's like the two things go up during a pandemic like this as we've heard about. Well, we didn't hear about video games going up during like depressions and pandemics in the past, but we do now. And then the other thing is alcohol consumption, and those things have held true.
Let's party and play games. Am I right, guys?
It's true though. People looking for distractions. So I don't think they'll have any problem, but I'm more wondering, what if there's 12 million consumers? Think of the demand we saw with Switch. So I'm kind of wondering, can they produce more if there's more demand?
Yeah, but also like it is optimistic because in the coming year, the PS5 will be the most expensive option to play video games outside of like really decking out your PC. So
the PS5
will, yes.
Why not the Xbox Series X? They're both the same price.
because you can buy an Xbox Series something for cheaper.
I know you. That's my point. That was just me like trying to set you up for my Xbox Series S commentary until I see how good those graphics are, by comparison, because
But
it
I
is
also
a
think
huge difference in potential. It's the same teraflops as like a PS4 Pro. Granted, totally new hardware.
We're gonna see how it works out, but I do think scalability has been like so built in mind that like your PC is probably better than mine, but also we can still play the same game. So I assume we are both playing Cyberpunk on PC. We're gonna have roughly the same experience on that, even though like you probably are by that point will have a much better graphics card.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, I won't by November probably, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like theoretically, let's say Cyberpunk Next Gen is on both Series S and Series X. It should perform roughly similarly if that
yeah, sure, frame rate if they optimize. But my point is, are we talking ultra settings versus medium settings? I'm not saying we are. I literally don't know, but it's like something when I look at the price and the hardware. The CPU is great, but there's a big difference in the GPU.
Right.
Granted, if you're playing in 4K, there's also a very big difference. So it's like this is where I get into the nitty gritty. But I hope developers actually are able to optimize, because my goal is I would rather play, and I know there's a lot of gamers out there that feel the same way. Don't optimize everything for 4K, that if I just put it in 2K that they look the same. Like, get me down to Xbox Series X 2K looks remarkably better than Xbox Series S 2K, because it should. I mean, it does have more power. It doesn't just have more memory, it has more power in the GPU. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And I think that is going to be an advantage for Sony in that there's no confusion over what PS5 you should get. There's like, okay, this one plays disc, this one doesn't, and there's no like that. Granted, that doesn't like come as cheap as a Series S, but it does mean that if you do come in for a PlayStation 5 and you just see like on the box, hey, this one does play Blu-rays and this one does not. So if you're gonna walk out of the game, get the one that plays Blu-rays. Like that is hard to quantify in terms of sales and how people are gonna react to it, but I think it's gonna be an advantage for them in that sense. We'll see. We'll see how this all goes.
Yeah, I know. And it's a personal, like, it's just a big question I have, and I just hope that there's not a big buyer's remorse moment, that the marketing has gotten away, because I feel like the marketing is, it's smaller, there's no disc, it's white, it's got a speaker thing on the front that it's not a speaker, but that it just looks a little different, but the only difference is 2K. But I'm like, I don't think that's how it's gonna work personally. But if it does, I mean, I don't know how they'll pull that off, but amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully there's not a moment where people are like, dang it, I don't know why I got the S. I should have got the X. And I hope that doesn't happen, because that could be a bad moment, if games are just so remarkably better on the Series X and that people feel like they're playing, almost like 1X quality stuff.
Yeah.
Again, the hardware's new, but the total computing power is actually it's a little less than the 1X, which is
in terms of GPU, but
scenario.
the processor is going to make a huge difference.
The processor is
But yeah, we'll see. One thing Sony does have control over, Fran, is their actual controller. The PS5's DualSense was developed with help from Astro's Playroom, the pack-in game. This is from Matt Purslow at IGN. The new technology in the PS5 DualSense controller was developed alongside Astro's Playroom, with developer Japan Studio helping test and refine the controller through the design process. Talking to Famitsu, as detailed in the English language report from VGC, Japan studio boss Nicolas Doucet said that the systems they developed for Astro's Playroom helped them provide critical feedback for the controller team. After considering the experience of the game, we thought about what parts should be further improved and what direction should be taken, he said. We continue to send that feedback with the development of the DualSense. It's really quite fun, and I think it's an uncommon development practice, but it may lead the way to the future of gameplay. So it's really exciting to be able to do this kind of work. For example, as we tested haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, we compiled personal feedback, such as, this has too strong of a recoil. We shared such thoughts with the hardware team and then shared them with our international studios, he explained. The DualSense received a lot of feedback and is progressively getting more cohesive and better integrated. This was quite a long process, about 1.5 to 2 years. Doucet explained that The design of the DualSense has changed considerably over the nearly 2 years of development, but has always been designed with the haptics and adaptive triggers. Are you excited for this Playroom pack-in, Fran?
Um, I mean, yeah, I'll always take a pack in. I don't know, enough about the game. I saw a little bit of the recent demos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more just excited about their interest in, controllers. I've always been really interested in controller development on consoles. It's the one thing, almost above all, that you have with the consoles that is so impactful on the industry when you think about it. Even for PC, it's like, well, which controller can I use? But in this case, it being hopefully, they really push developers to get into it, because we've seen this a lot with like Nintendo stuff too, where they do actually have some cool stuff. And I forget, did Sony do? I remember they did Dual Rumble, but who did Rumble first? Was the Rumble pack first?
It was
from
on PC
Nintendo?
well before Nintendo did it, but Rumble Pack was, I think, the
Right.
first console integration of it.
Mhm. But yeah, we can see how far it's gone. But like tuning it in the way that they're looking to do it, I can't wait to feel it. So I haven't used the
Yeah.
PS5 at all. Not many people have. So, but I love this type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's one thing that sometimes at the beginning of a generation too, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'd like to play that on PS5 in this case because of all the adaptive triggers and all this other stuff. Hopefully that they're pushing into it. But I got to see how it feels. It could be like a little bump in the way that it feels, right? And it's a lot of marketing hype, or it could genuinely be like, "Whoa, that's really cool," And then you get into like, "Dang, I wish this developer, like probably for Cyberpunk, it's like, man, I'm just guessing because the amount of work they've probably had on their plate to get that done. But like, is it going to be highly tuned for the haptic feedback? I doubt it right now. But
Yeah, I'm curious what third parties do in a year or two of like, I don't know, let's say Suicide Squad going to use haptic triggers, or are they just gonna be like, nah, it's fine. Like we're
yeah,
just gonna
exactly.
like we can't count on the PC version having stuff like this, so we're not gonna bother doing too much with it, which is like that usually happens with very specific controller things. I like stories personally of like the games that shape controller designs. Of like knowing that the N64 controller was designed around Mario 64, and then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, this is the one thing we know this controller is going to work with, and they made a weird thing that didn't work with everything.
Yeah,
I like,
classic Nintendo.
yeah, the stories of how Metroid Prime 3 was why we got the nunchuck controller, or like why Ubisoft was why they added the Z button to the GameCube controller and stuff like that. That stuff is cool. So I'm curious to like, I'm not super excited for this Astrobot game because Astrobot was on PSVR a really good game. This just seems like more like we'll see what this is. I'm getting the sense this is not a video game per se as a tech demo, but we'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it's a kick-ass game that everyone's going to be very happy to have on that system.
Yeah, like I said, that's where I haven't looked at enough footage. I don't know that we know enough about it to say like, oh, this is like a killer, whatever, platformer, puzzle game. Also that has this killer DualSense and haptic feedback and all this. So I don't know.
But you heard good things about the original.
What?
You heard good things about the original Astrobot.
You know what's funny? I actually forgot that there was an original of this.
There's a PSVR game.
Come on, it's
that's
so
right.
good.
Of
It was
course, it's on
awesome.
PSVR. See, I don't have PSVR, so.
Wow.
Yeah, I did hear good things about the original. Now that you mentioned, I remember. I think I had this conversation already with like Tim or someone. I was like, "Oh, that's right. Everybody really liked that game. I should check that out."
It definitely wasn't Tim.
And
He's the only one that hasn't played it. Just a heads up.
Okay,
Almost
it was
certainly
somebody on
regular.
Games.
It was probably me. It was probably me.
Could have been.
One thing you won't be hearing, Fran, is virtual surround sound on the PS5's TV audio. Sony details how the PS5's audio will work with TV speakers and headphones. This is from Matt Olson at US Gamer. Sony is taking today to let players know that while headphones will be the way to go when the PS5 debuts, built-in TV speakers should also get a bump in immersive audio down the line. Quote, although TV speaker virtual surround sound won't be available on launch day for PS5, it's still a feature we're extremely excited about, Sony says, and our engineers are hard at work at bringing it to the PS5 in the future. We've actually heard about plans to continue tinkering with the PS5's audio features after launch, going back to March, when system architect Mark Cerny revealed the first details on the PS5's capabilities and detailed the console's Tempest audio solution. At the time, Cerny talked about how the PS5 is able to process hundreds of audio sources in a scene, allowing for a more realistic mixes, while also tailoring the output to sound, even tailoring the output to sound even better by taking the shape of a player's ears into account. To really maximize the effect, you'll need to take photos of your ears so the shape and contours of them can be used in a head-related transfer function, or HRTF. It's a tech that Sony already employs for some of its headphones, but at launch, Sony said that the PS5 will only include 5 preset HRTFs, letting players pick which one sounds the best to them. It seems like virtual surround sound support may come before customizable HRTFs, but we'll just have to wait and see. As for which headphones will give you a great PS5 audio experience, if you've already got a great pair, then you don't need to try and nab the proprietary Pulse 3D headset. Sony says that the 3D audio processing feature will also play nice with other kinds of headphones, whether they're plugged into the console via USB or right into the DualSense via the 3.5mm jack. So, if you're just playing on your TV speakers, no virtual surround sound quite yet. Like your normal ass ones built into the TV that don't sound good and are tinny as hell, those won't be improved by the PS5 on launch day, but they will at some point.
Well, if they're tinny, I don't think that's going to improve.
Okay, that part won't.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of TV speakers. I am forced to use mine because, like, I explained this before with the ARC port on my TV broke at some point. So, like, I just haven't used it since then. But I'm hoping this is the kind of feature that they get in fairly fast versus, like suspend resume took a year and a half, I think, like a very long time to come to the PS4. So hopefully, like, soon means February and not November.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a while. We'll see.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I like that they're continuing to put a focus on audio. It is super important. If they can, for TV speakers, like you were saying, I think that's probably the bigger. Well, maybe not. A lot of people do play on headphones now. So yeah, we'll see. But like at the end of the day, it's all trying to simulate a number of things. Both the 3D audio, but then also the interesting part is them trying to figure out how to like tune it to the shape of your ear and how you pick up the sounds. I don't know. I've never gone through that demo. I feel like if I'd been to a recent CES or something, I would have been able to try that demo out and be like, oh yeah, totally, whatever. I did. I felt like there was more bass, where I felt like I was picking up more, whatever. I don't know. I haven't read up enough on that technology. So the idea of taking, 360 photos of your head and ears, and then that also in playing with the PS5, I assume it's both things happening. One, looking at your head and ears, but secondly, also it trying to take all the sounds in the actual world and process them in a way that also makes it more 3D and then outputs that in your room. And I don't know if they're doing any room simulation stuff either, in terms of like bouncing, sounds around and picking up stuff on the mic. I don't know if some receivers do that, and it's to mixed results, but
I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to like feel what the 3D, like I can think of Bloodborne as a game that I really like the audio in that game. And I played that game with headphones, not because my PS4 was loud, because like one, it helps for a gameplay perspective of I really want to be able to hear everything around me because I will die if I do not. And two, like it just adds to the atmosphere of it. So let's say use God of War 2 as an example. Or what's the official name? God of War Ragnarok? Or did they give an official title? You're wrong, can tell me. But
yeah, they did.
It was
God of War Ragnarok now.
Oh, it is Ragnarok. Okay, cool. So like God of War Ragnarok, I bet that's a game I'm going to want to play with headphones. Meanwhile, on the PS4, I played that game with headphones because it was just really loud and hot. But like, I really expect this is the kind of thing that like it'll make reviews more complicated. Of like, hey, this game was actually a lot better with headphones, and that makes a major difference. And that's kind of exciting to know that next gen has these quality of life improvements that are making big differences in that level.
Yeah. Yeah, on the side here, I was like trying to refresh my memory. I'm like, wait, where is Sony at with like Dolby, Atmos and all this other stuff? And I don't have time to look into it right now. Obviously, I have on the show, but actually, wait, is it not supporting that? Because you have to license that, and generally, that comes with a cost and all that. So is that part of what's going on here? I guess as well is that they have their own 3D tech, and that's really what the story is. Because it looks like I'm reading that it may not have like Dolby Atmos and stuff. So
Are you a wired headset man, Fran, or are you wireless?
Wired.
Mhm.
And I say that assuming, if I was ever sitting in front of my TV even. Well, because we live in as far as headphones go, wired. I don't mind having a cable at all. And it's way more, like the quality of headphone you get for the price is so much better. So don't buy wired unless you absolutely need them,
Go by
Oh,
wired
Kevin.
and
Here comes
wireless?
Kevin.
You mean wireless?
I'm saying the quality of headphone you get with wired.
Yeah, you
It's
said
so much
go
better.
by
don't,
wired.
yeah.
Oh, don't buy wireless. Yes, sorry.
Now,
My bad.
here's the thing. You don't got a pair of A50s? Pair of Astros?
I have an old pair
'Cause
of A40s,
Oh,
but
those
like
are
I have
old.
these. These are Sennheiser
Sure, I know, but then you got to
HD600s.
deal with a wire. Like right now, I forgot to charge my wireless adapter for these headphones, and like my garbage or my vacuum needs to get the bin emptied out, and it's like, well, I can't do that now because I'm wired. It sucks.
Yeah, but that's like
hate this.
That's like a production.
But what
need,
I'm saying is the A50s. I don't know. I've always really enjoyed them. I think the audio sounds good on them, and it's awesome to not have to worry about any cables.
not a bad pair of headphones at all.
Yeah. I
But
like
I-
wireless like as a convenience thing, but like the second the audio breaks for any reason, I'm like, oh, this shit sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I
But I
have
feel like-
nothing against them. Yeah, like the A50s are great. I'm sure they're also durable over time, all that. But I'm sorry, they're absolutely not as good as these HD600. These are so comfortable. But again, it becomes utility, right? Like, do you actually need to get up and you're talking to your friends and going into the kitchen like that? If that's an absolute need, then awesome.
But so do those have a mic, or how do you handle the mic situation when you're playing
because,
on your
again, I'm
sofa and
always-
not streaming?
If I was playing on the sofa, normally I would have on like these type of headphones, but I would just throw on I'd do the controller plug-in and like a crappy
Oh, but that sounds terrible.
Mic
Think
not
about the
like-
experience for your friends, you monster.
But think about what you're saying, that you're now worried about how you sound to 3 or 4 other people.
Are you not worried
versus
when you're in,
how
like-
the game sounds to you?
No,
and the
that's
comfort
what I'm
of
saying.
sitting there
Like,
for 8 hours.
I got dumb ears. I'm not gonna notice the audio difference. It's been
if you put them both on, plus the comfort level. You would
Here's the
notice
thing.
difference.
I wear my Audio
Back to back.
Technicas and they work great, but when I use my the A50s,
The A50s.
yeah, like it's to
Yeah,
me
but
it's
you're
comparable.
also, I'm pretty sure which Audio Technicas? Do you have like the super high end editing quality type ones? You mean?
Oh, I don't know. The MH.
Meaning were they like $400, $500?
No,
Or are you talking about the
no.
250
Were your
ones with, like,
headphones
the-
$400-500?
Yeah, I've had these forever though. Yeah,
Oh my
HD600s
God.
are like $400 or $500. So.
I mean, the Astros
You-
are expensive too, but
Yeah.
like they're wireless. You know what I mean?
And again, look, the point I'm trying to make here is if you're going to invest in a headphone, I would seriously, if you're into the quality, like you spend a lot of money on the wireless factor, and sometimes on the brand name and stuff like that too. But when I've just as an example, the cool thing about these headphones, I've had them now, I swear, like a decade. You can replace like this, like really nice,
the padding. Yeah.
you can replace the padding up here, and
Yeah.
actually, they do. One of the biggest problems with a lot of headphones when they're wired is the wire goes bad, and these actually support. You can just get a new thing. So like because that's how they get you. Most headphone companies, they don't let you replace the wires. Yeah, I wonder why. So
God
anyway,
bless you, you sweet angel.
these are. Dude, I have a feeling I'm gonna have these for 15 years, and I'm like, they're dope. They sound
like-
great.
For me, comfort is the top like factor, and then audio quality is right below that. Because like there's so many silver headphones for PS4. Those are nice headphones in that they have good audio quality, but they have like the most uncomfortable padding I've ever seen. It's like a mesh net on top of the headphone cups, and then they're so tight. They are ridiculously tight. So like
And
every time I
I
took
can't
one
do
off,
that.
like it
Oh, this
looked
is
like
like
I looked like someone grilled cheesed my like ears.
Yeah, and it's like a humid vacuum in there as well. These are open ear, which actually is more. It's a problem for stuff like this, where like, you get
noise
feedback into
goes
the
out.
mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I got them, it wasn't my main concern. So there's a lot you can do. But I mean, you have to spend. Wireless headphones are awesome, but they're utility.
Oh.
Think about it. It's the same as like when you go to the gym or whatever. There's people who decide it's maybe a little different. You do want wireless, but the people who do like full on cups versus the earbuds, it's because they're like, I want the quality. And that's important to them. And I'm like,
I can't imagine
respect.
That's crazy,
dude. Respect.
Earbuds, man, all the way.
That quality sucks.
Yeah, no, for like exercising,
I have
just
earbuds for
like,
the gym too.
For like when exercising, I have to have like a very thin Bluetooth like earbuds.
Yeah,
because
like,
although anything else is
super
gonna bother the
lightweight.
hell out of me.
Yeah. I get that.
I got no transition for the next one, but moving on. Genshin Impact, the free-to-play Chinese video game, has reached 17 million downloads on mobile alone, an estimated 50 million in revenue since launch, from Jordan Oloman at IGN. Genshin Impact has managed 17 million downloads on mobile alone over the past 4 days of its release, with analysts estimating its grossed over 50 million since launch. The free-to-play action RPG arrived on PS4, PC, and iOS and Android on September 28th. And mobile analytics company App Annie posted a downloads milestone on Twitter on October 4th. That huge early uptake means the game is already a top-grossing mobile title across Asia and in the US. Speaking to IGN, Daniel Ahmad, senior analyst at Nico Partners, estimates that the game has grossed $50 million in its first week, with the majority of that revenue coming from China, Japan, and the US. Quote, the game had more than 20 million pre-registrations prior to launch, of which more than 5 million were from outside China, explains Ahmad. This is a huge achievement not just for a Chinese-developed game, but for a new original IP too. Genshin Impact has been compared to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild due to its visual aesthetic and design. The game is an open-world action RPG with gachapon elements, and it already proved to be quite the success on social media. A Nintendo Switch version is currently in the works, with the release date unannounced. Have you played this game or seen much of it, Fran?
Yeah, I mean, I've not played it. I've seen plenty of it. There's a number of reasons here that I will try to not go too off topic. But the first one is I just got to be careful about how many of these types of games that I'm playing. You know, trying to get like things that improve your crit by like 4%, because there's so much game time when you really get into these, and I love that. I have a feeling I would like it a lot.
I was gonna say you play at least 2 of those games currently that I know
at least. No, I play more than that. Yeah, it's only good that there's nothing to do. Well, not nothing, but I've dropped out of Division a little bit for now, just because like too much to play, and I'll probably wait till the release gets big again. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just ask, what have you guys thought of, or what do you think of it style-wise? Coming out and really marketing itself, looking so much like Zelda.
I'm gonna talk a little. I will talk a little bit about it tomorrow, but I will say I've been playing the game and I've been enjoying it. Like it is litigiously close to Zelda occasionally. Like the first enemies you meet are like literally it's both.
Yeah, I've seen some of the designs. I'm like, why did they? I don't understand why.
But like in a lot of ways, it feels more like they mirrored a Tales game to a Zelda game, and it is. There are parts of it that are so close to Breath of the Wild that I'm like uncomfortable. Like
yeah, some of even just like spear designs have the same like Zelda like ironworks, and I'm like, why? Like it's kind of so on that front, it just bothers me a little bit, which is funny because it's not going to harm Nintendo at all, and I'm always mad at Nintendo at how long they freaking take to like do sequels or do stuff. So I'm glad they were inspired, but there's a little part of me when I see free to play games, especially it has happened a ton on mobile, where I'm like, wow, they just took the style of this other game, and that's how they got their first step towards like notice me, right?
Yeah.
I think this game, because of how well it seems to be developed and how well it's designed, is what I'm trying to say. I think it would have got the attention anyway. So I don't know why they kind of aped the style so much. So anyway, on that front, it kind of bothers me a little bit, but I've brought that up a lot as one of the reasons. I don't know. I don't want to get into.
I think on the other hand, like you have PS4 owners and mobile owners, people who don't own a Switch, they're like, yo, this looks like Breath of the Wild. I heard that game was good. I want to try this, and it's a free download, so it makes sense. And it's the actual gacha aspects of it are not that bad. Like I've done one roll, I got a character out of it. I have not done another roll since that I've not needed to. But yeah, like I said, I will talk more about it in a Gamescast tomorrow. I don't actually know if you're on that tomorrow or not, Fran.
No,
you're not. Okay.
Oh, you guys are giving like impressions and stuff on it tomorrow?
I would assume we are. If we're not, then I will find some other method to talk about it. But I've heard great things. Yeah, it's a surprisingly fun game.
Everybody wants me to play it, and I'm like, I probably will before I'm waiting for the next Destiny release to come out in November. So, and all the next gen stuff coming out in mid-November. So, but I've been catching up on stuff still, and I'm like, I have so many things that I haven't played. Yes. I just can't add another game like this especially, and then there's all these games that I'll never play. So we'll see. Like Dark
I've-
Souls 3 and
I've had-
Bloodborne, which I'm still waiting to play, and I will. I
Yeah.
promise you. But
Like I've had 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim sitting on my PS4 home screen for the last couple of weeks, and like I really want to play this, I just don't have time. And like Crash came out, and I'm playing something for work, and I'm playing like this Genshin Impact, and there's other stuff like coming in and out, and it's so hard to get to the games that are not news relevant anymore, but I want to play them, and it's hard to give like myself reasons to do that.
mm-hmm.
Especially this time of year, like things are only going to get worse in the next month and a half.
Yeah, we've got a very short window, and it's already starting to heat up. But yeah, I mean, back to like genuinely, Genshin seems really awesome. Everybody is super in love with it, and it really is. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last like Chinese developed game, and was across mobile and consoles, and and hit this big. Like I don't know, actually.
Yeah,
I don't even.
I can't think
know.
of one,
Like,
honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
I cannot. Like to this level of success and broad, release. I'm like amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, especially as far as consoles go. Like maybe there have been some of that on mobile that I just haven't paid attention to, but consoles, this is a new story.
Yeah. So
And speaking of new stories, a Resident Evil reboot is coming. There's some Amanda Induca and Anthony De Alessandro at Deadline.
a movie.
Constantine Film has set in motion a new adaptation to add to the ever-expanded Resident Evil movie franchise. Constantine and writer-director Johannes Roberts said Tuesday that they've conceived an official origin story adaptation with faithful ties to Capcom's classic survival horror games. The story is set in 1998 on a fateful night in Raccoon City. Starring in the roles of the iconic game characters will be Maze Runner's Kaya Scodelario. There we go. As Claire Redfield, alongside Hannah John-Kamen, Ant-Man and the Wasp, as Jill Valentine. Robbie Amell, Upload, as Chris Redfield. Tom Hopper, The Umbrella Academy, that's pretty funny, as Albert Wesker. Yvonne Jogia, as Zombieland Double Tap, as Leon S. Kennedy, and Neil McDonough from Yellowstone as William Birkin. Quote, within this movie, I really wanted to go back to the original first two games and recreate the terrifying visceral experience I had when I first played them, whilst at the same time telling a grounded human story about a small, dying American town that feels both relatable and relevant to today's audiences, said Roberts, the filmmaker behind the shark thriller 47 Meters Down and its sequel. Franchise producer Robert Kolzer will produce again on behalf of Constantine with James Harris from T-Shot Productions and Harley Gorenstein. Said Kolzer, after a dozen games, 6 live-action movies, and hundreds of pages of fan fiction, we felt compelled to return to the year 1998 to explore the secrets hidden in the walls of Spencer Mansion in Raccoon City. So there already is an existing Resident Evil film series starring Mila Jovovich, done by Paul W.S. Anderson. It is not faithful at all. It is not it doesn't follow the game's it is like if I drunkenly described the game's story to you and then you went and wrote a script about it. That is what those movies are like. A lot of people do like them. They're extremely popular. They're extremely successful movies. It sounds like this is them going back to like, why don't we just do RD2 now?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate what they're saying, but to your point, I'm like, I don't know, it like hasn't like turned out brilliantly yet.
Yes.
But it happens. Sometimes you strike gold. I'm trying to remember like which, if any, video game movies though have pulled it off.
I think Sonic was okay.
Oh yeah, I still haven't watched Sonic. And
it's
you know
not
what's funny? I know.
It's not like the best movie ever or like a great video game adaptation, but it's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah. But we'll see. But also, who's making movies anymore? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. Dark.
Well,
humor.
I mean, like, I saw Nibble saying on Twitter that there is a Resident Evil CG movie coming to Netflix. There is a Netflix series that is focusing on our Westridge kids. This movie that we're talking about here is supposedly coming to theaters, which I think that's a thing that you should be very hopeful about and optimistic.
Yeah, I mean I mean I love like seeing a great flick at the theaters, and I hope that we come out of this sooner than later. But it's like right now that everything with movies getting delayed and all this. So hearing like that there's a new movie being announced, I'm like, I don't know. It sounds like
I guess you got to announce it now for like 2024 at this point.
Do that? Like, is it even to the point where it has full funding and everything, or is this?
If they're casting, I'd assume so.
I don't know. Or is that but that could just be the people who've signed up to play all that if they get all the funding. I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating. But yeah, until we see a dope trailer, I remain reserved because this normally has not worked out great in the past. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. I'm actually kind of interested in that CG movie. I think the Resident Evil CG movies vary from like pretty okay to terrible. So like the games themselves sometimes. But
That can be fun sometimes, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm interested to see what Capcom is doing with this like massive licensing spree that are going on these days. The Dragon's Dogma anime I watched, fucking terrible. That thing is
Really?
not good. Like, so hopefully the next couple of things are better.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple of quick hits here. There's a new Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity trailer. The characters Robbie and Purah are introduced. So go check that trailer out. It's kind of cool. This was from a deleted tweet now that I don't know if it's still news, but Banjo-Kazooie, Byleth, and Terry are all getting Smash Amiibos in fall 2021. So the Amiibos themselves are shown in the Minecraft character expo thing. But the Nintendo of America put out a tweet yesterday that said the next round of Smash Brothers Amiibo featuring Terry, Byleth, and Banjo-Kazooie are coming in fall 2021. So that is, look at your calendars, a year from now, which is a long time for 3 plastic toys.
Yeah.
So that seems like it seems strange that Nintendo is waiting that long to release those 3 characters.
But the only source so far we think we've had is just like a tweet on this.
From Nintendo of America for the date,
right?
For the actual like products, Sakurai.
Yeah, for the date is what I'm saying. But meaning there's literally been no other info other than like you're saying now a deleted tweet.
Yeah, which the tweet got deleted pretty late in the day too. So I don't know what the deal was, but yeah, like so I got this in the mail today. I got the Joker amiibo.
Oh, sweet.
This just came out. Joker was announced as a DLC character at the Game Awards 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going by that same timeline, if we're going to see, let's say, any characters from this DLC pass, it's going to be like easily 2022, maybe like summer, maybe close to fall of that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, our only source is a deleted tweet. I'm surprised they just haven't commented quickly on this yet. I was trying to like double check and search news. I don't see anything new, but yeah, why wouldn't they just clarify? Like either say sorry that we still haven't announced it yet. At least give us confirmation, whether there's some truth to that. But I don't know. It's weird that they possibly leaked it, but then deleted it without any commentary. But
I have to assume that Amiibo sales are just not good these days. Like they're so few. They used to release all the time, and like Nintendo, I think Animal Crossing really burned them because most of those just didn't sell well. So yeah, who knows at this point? It feels like the Smash one's just out of obligation, but we'll see. I'm excited to see what happens with Amiibos in the future, Fran. But that is so far away. If I wanted to know what's coming to the mom and grop shops today, where would I look?
Oh, I was totally not ready for this.
Oh, I didn't. The thing's not in the template. Okay,
it's totally gone now.
Just try to make it up. Just make it up. Just make it up. You got it. You got it. Just make it up. It's all you, bro.
Wow, I can't believe I forgot the segment. Your release dates as provided by the Kind of Funny Games Daily show host each and every weekday, right here on Twitch TV/Kind of Funny Games and YouTube. I know that's not it. I'm sorry.
You mashed up so many
terrible.
things.
I did.
The whole start was off. Jesus, I'm sorry. I insisted you try.
Yeah, why'd you? I can't believe you deleted it. Hey,
I didn't.
Everybody's gonna be mad at me now, but they deleted it from the template and then put on the spot. I'm like, man, I got no idea.
No,
I have no idea.
We thought you would do way better, if I'm being honest.
All right. Well, now I'm gonna look up an old script so I can after he goes through this.
I was gonna copy.
We're gonna say it
for
after he goes through these. Mm-hmm.
Have it edited in.
I'm gonna do the actual song though, because he will get mad if we don't do the song. So.
Oh. All right, well then we're doing it. Wait, let's redo it. I got it right.
Okay, we're gonna do the whole
thing. Let's pretend this never happened.
Okay, let's go back.
Do your thing again.
Okay, I'm excited to see when we get this right, Fran, but that is so far away. If I wanted to know what's coming to the mom and grop shops today, where would I look?
That's a great question, Imran. The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily show host each and every weekday.
Fucked it up immediately. Okay. Yeah.
What do you mean? I threw in my own little segue. That doesn't count.
I mean, you changed
that's not part of it.
You changed it.
I did not change it. I got the whole thing. I threw in a little segue.
Here's the thing. If you buy a dress and then cover it in crap, you've changed it. You know what I
No.
mean? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
added
it's different.
spice.
Well,
Little bit. You know what? I put a little hot sauce.
yeah,
on
but
this
turns out we
dish.
have
That's what
IBS,
just
and that
happened.
shit's gonna burn.
Out today. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. I think Barrett did a video of that. You can find on kindoffunny.com or youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Ministry of Broadcast out on PS4 and Xbox One. Ninth Dawn 3 Shadow of Airthel is out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders is out on Switch. Baldur's Gate 3 is out on PC. Wall Ninja is out on PC. The Solitaire Conspiracy is out on PC and Mac. I think that stars some weird guy who I've never heard of. Democracy 4 is out on PC. Charterstone Digital Edition is out on Switch. From Orbit is out on Switch. The Arcane and Wolfenstein collections were on sale on Best Buy today. I don't know what that means. They've not actually officially been announced, but theoretically you can buy them for PS4 and Xbox One. The formidable and captivating Golden Spirit Bear makes its debut in Red Dead Online's latest legendary animal sighting mission, alongside the newest Vitalism Studies pamphlet, plus a variety of hefty XP bonuses and naturalist discounts now await players. New dates: Pumpkin Jacks coming to PC, Switch, and Xbox One October 23rd. Real Politics 2 arrives November 5th on PC. Deals of the day: there's PS Plus games are out today. Need for Speed Payback and Vampire. There's a GameFly game or sale on Switch games, so you can get stuff like Mario Maker 2 for like around $30. There's an Xbox Live Gold sale on games like XCOM 2, Outer Worlds, and every Assassin's Creed game. All right, now it is time for ads. All right, Kind of Funny got.
I know I don't have a segue for that.
You do not, Fran, but feel free to chime in whenever you need to. Kind of Funny Games Daily is brought to you today by Upstart. During these economically turbulent times, everyone is looking for a way to feel more financially secure. If you're still needlessly throwing money every month at high-interest credit card debt, it's time you checked out Upstart, the revolutionary online lending platform that shows you're more than just a credit score. Now is the time to find out how low your Upstart rate can be to help pay off your high-interest credit card debt. Unlike other lenders, Upstart can reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter rate. You don't need a degree or diploma to apply, though. Upstart lets you skip going to the bank because it's completely online. They offer loans from $1,000 to $50,000, so you can consolidate your debt into one easy fixed rate payment. Upstart makes it fast and simple to check your rate. Since it's just a soft pull, it won't affect your credit score. The hard pull happens if you accept your rate and proceed with your application. The best part? If the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards or meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt and get back to using your money your way with Upstart. See why Upstart has a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot. And hurry to upstart.com/kfgames to find out how low your Upstart rate can be. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. That's upstart.com/kfgames. Your loan amount will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Not all applicants will apply or qualify for the full amount. We're also brought to you by QUIP. When's the last time you got rewarded for brushing your teeth? With QUIP's new smart electric toothbrush, good habits can earn you great perks like free products, gift cards, and more. You've probably heard us talk about QUIP a million times, but this is something brand new that rewards you and your mouth. The QUIP Smart Brush for adults and kids connects to the QUIP app with Bluetooth. Track and how well you brush, get tips and coaching to improve your habits, earn points for daily brushing and bonus points for completing challenges like streaks. Redeem for rewards like free products, gift cards, and discounts from QUIP and partners. Greg ordered his the other night because, of course, he wants to gamify everything. Already have a QUIP? Upgrade it with a smart motor and keep the features you know and love. Sensitive sonic vibrations, 2-minute timer with 30-second pulses for a guided clean. Slim, lightweight, and sleek with no wires or bulky chargers to weigh you down. Multi-use travel cover that doubles as a mirror mount for less clutter. Beyond the brush, QUIP has everything you need to build a complete routine. Floss that expands to clean and comes in a refillable dispenser to reduce waste, an eco-friendly solar battery charger to power your QUIP with sunshine. Plus, you can get brush head, toothpaste, and floss refills delivered from $5, and shipping is free. How smart is that? Join over 5 million mouths who use QUIP and save hundreds compared to other Bluetooth brushes. When you start, get a QUIP smart brush for just $45. Start getting rewards for brushing your teeth today, and to get quip.com/games. Right now, get your first refill free. That's your first refill for free at getquip.com/games. Spelled GETQIP.com/GAMES. Better QUIP, better oral health made simple and rewarding. We're also brought to you by Brooklinen. You've probably heard us talk about Brooklinen before. They're the home of the internet's favorite cheats, but their towels are also amazing. Greg Miller dries his body each and every day with a fluffy Brooklinen towel, and he loves it, and you will too. Brooklinen gives you daily routines a little something extra with varying levels of plushness. The towel of your dreams is waiting to wrap you up. And with all this extra time at home, it might be nice to invest in a little extra softness and absorbency. It's perfectly fine to stay in your towel all day after you shower. Sometimes Greg hosts his very show in towel until Kevin tells him to knock it off. That's how much Greg loves his Brooklinen towels and sheets. Be like Greg. Brooklinen is a perfect place to find all the comforts for home, including ultra soft towels. They're so confident in their product that everything that comes with a lifetime warranty. Use promo code GAMES for 10% off your first order at brooklinen.com. That's brooklinen.com, promo code GAMES. Brooklinen, everything you need to live your most comfortable life. All right, Fran. We're kind of going to be rushing through a little bit of this, so I am going to quickly get through this question from Cameron O'Neill. What do you define as crunch? With Cyberpunk 2077 news today and subsequent discussion about crunch, I found it strange how people are missing the point. Crunch is not just hours worked, but is building a culture where workers can't say no to more work without fear of termination. What do you think would happen to a developer at CDPR that said, no, I will not work on Sunday? You promised during the hiring process that you would not do mandatory crunch, therefore I'm holding you, the management team, accountable. So I wanted to kind of do this one because it does bring up a point that I saw people saying CDPR gets compensated for the overwork part. Yes, but also crunch has a thing where if you don't do it, like let's say you're somebody crunching, would you expect someone who didn't crunch to get the next promotion, or would you expect you to get it? And I think that's where this whole thing kind of falls apart, because as somebody that creates a thing where you need to crunch to get ahead in your career, and that is a rotten work culture.
Yeah, the whole problem with this is that though there's really no way to track and prove that even, right? Like I don't think there's been some deep dive, study showing that people who are getting promoted because they're crunching. It's the pressure that you face because of the culture that surrounds you, and like how do you separate yourself from that? So that's the problem. The nuance of you don't have to stay. And we'll grab you dinner, or we'll also pay you a bonus or whatever. It's that if you don't do it, then are you really like working as hard as the next person? But you're supposed to be working over what is expected. That is supposed to be the mean. So it's that nuance and pressure, right? That makes this such a big problem. Especially when you have like heads of the company saying, "Hey, we need you to stay." But in maybe fine print or on set even is like, well, I mean, of course it's like not in your, we don't, if you can't do it, okay, like then what are you gonna say to that person?
In a civilized society, we should not at this point in society in general, in civilization, be saying you have to choose between saving your family or thinking about your career, and that's kind of like the nice way of crunch, I guess. And it bothers me when people only look at the actual monetary difference. But yeah, that is a larger topic that I think we can dedicate time to right now.
Yeah. Did you say, sorry, just because I did miss it, did you say that the CD Projekt Red team, they did say they were getting paid more?
That's what the leadership said. So I'd assume so, yes.
Yeah, it's a national thing, right? Where
yes, Poland's laws require.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to pay, even if they're salary. I don't know how that works. But yeah, over here, that's like often a big problem because you're salaried and it's like, well, you get paid.
Our labor laws suck ass. Like we're
well, whose fault is that? You know what I mean?
So yeah,
that's labor laws.
Now it's time to squad up. This is from Mitch Krassin, who's looking for some help on PS4. His PS4 username is MK79797. I am 3 trophies away from the plat in Predator. I need help with the precision leaper hitting 4 people in 1 leap. I'm hoping to grasp people for a private match Wednesday night at 9 Pacific time. So that's MK79797 for some Predator help.
Dude, isn't one of those trophies like be Predator so it's like some absurd amount of time?
Well, good apparently he needs it, or he's already got it. So
good for him.
Let's do it.
Hitting 4 people in 1 leap as Predator. Wow.
Yeah, you've got to
that's just like that is like playing the lottery.
All right.
I mean, you could set it up maybe, but
I mean, it sounds like that's what he's trying to do. You know what I mean?
It's tough.
Stand together
to game the system just to get the. That's fine. I mean,
you
didn't really get it if you cheat your way to the finish line.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
I respect your dedication to grabbing every.
Right, let's check out. It's kind of funny. You're wrong. See what we got wrong throughout the show. Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos are confirmed exclusive to the Xbox Series X, says Frostgraph. I don't know. Like, I'll have to look that up later, but Frostgraph says so.
Exclusive, so they couldn't have it even if they wanted.
Imran, do you need to go? We can.
We're about to wrap this up. I think we're good.
Okay.
So let me. Well, yeah, there's not a whole lot of you're wrong today. So
Okay. All right.
yeah. Tomorrow's hosts are Greg and Gary Witta. There's now time for a post show, which Greg Miller will be jumping into. Supporters at the silver membership or above get the show on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Until then, Fran, say where people can find you on Twitch.
Twitch TV/FM3_. Thanks everybody who's dropped by to support, even when I'm not making it around the show here.
All right. Thank you, Fran. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you all later.